There was a clear agenda in the private prison movement where there ended up being some people, some record executives that ended up speaking out about this, but that they had a meeting with a lot of the top record executives. I want to say it was either very late 80s or in the first part of the 90s, where they said, okay, we have a new direction for what we're taking hip hop. And a lot of people, especially if you grew up listening to hip hop in the, in the late 70s and 80s, it definitely wasn't the majority of the music that was talking about all the shit that we're talking about is, that is saying now. And there was a lot of revolutionary themes and activism and Pan-Africanism and
D and KRS-One, those cats were talking about something,
And they did not want the next iteration of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King in this new form of rap, and they had to shut it down. And they purposely, all these white executives purposely signed people who were going to feed toxicity to their community so they could put the people who were listening to them who were going to carry these things out, because a lot of times the artists ain't doing this shit for real. They're just getting a check.
Exactly.
And they're putting these people in jail because it is normalized, and they're hearing this on the radio and seeing this on TV right after school every single day, man. And that was all to lock us up because they started private prisons. And the more you have occupancy, the more you get funding from the government.
Yep.
So how are you now incentivizing putting people in jail by getting money? It's one of the most crooked things ever, right up there with having money in politics. You can never get the true version of someone if there's a check involved. And we know that even on a lower level, like you just said, sometimes we just got to get that check and we got to go play with the artist who's talking about some bullshit.
Yeah.
And so, but this is on a whole nother level, man, and unfortunately, they've paid their bills and become billionaires off the backs of people who just don't know no better and are being raised by the radio. So we just got to do better, man. We got to be aware of these things. We got to start teaching our kids. We got to start monitoring what we're listening to. And I'm so grateful. And I didn't necessarily understand at the time, but that my parents were aware of what I was listening to and made me feel uncomfortable, that there were certain things that you just didn't say. And to this day, man, I can't just listen to it without, I'm a songwriter, and so I can't listen to it without, like, what are you trying to tell me? What am I doing with this song? What is it inspiring me to do? So, it's enough. We've been doing this shit for way too long, and it's time for a shift. And it's happening. It's going to take a long time, and it's going to take more people like us just speaking up about it.